So welcome back to more Fight Night Champion, where last time Andre Bishop had to overcome a broken right hand and then make a serious statement with that same right hand in the next fight. But now, since he lost all that time in prison, he's got to fast track and take as many shortcuts as he can in order to get to a title shot. And that includes another fight with another former title challenger and another guy who got knocked out by Frost. No real surprise there. But either way, the biggest problem, or the biggest gimmick with this fight is that no matter what Cooper throws, on the first punch he's going to cut you over the right eye. So what you do have to be aware of is that you have to fight with a cut throughout the whole fight, and since it is caused by a legitimate punch, if it gets too damaged and too bloodied up to the point where a fighter can't see or fight properly, then the ref is going to stop the fight, and then Cooper will win by TKO. And that's just a technical knockout, pretty much the same thing. And this fight does take a pretty long time, so you are seeing a bunch of rounds condensed into highlights, just like the Meldrick Johnson fight. And that is the thing with editing some of these fights, is that you just kind of have to pick and choose like what you want to include. And as you can see, they did a pretty good job animating how messed up that eye is. So what they have to do, or what cut men do, is that they have to put like certain medicines on it, like epinephrine, which is adrenaline, and then some coagulates, which pretty much speed up clotting, or speed up blood clotting, so that the cut doesn't bleed as much. But they have to let those medicines work, and pretty much what this part is teaching you is that, hey, when you're cut, don't get hit there. I mean, that's just pretty much common sense, but then again, if you've never seen boxing before, I guess it would make sense to explain that fact. And pretty much what that counter is that how many times you got hit in that particular area in the eye. And what you do have to be aware of is that left hooks are going to be your worst enemy in this fight. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of waiting for his left and then trying to counter with straight rights. I mean, straight rights are a lot quicker, so that's why I'm using them as opposed to like right hooks or right uppercuts. And as you can see, I got hit there 4 times. And it resets back to 0, or it subtracts by 5 for or between rounds, because, you know, they wipe it out. They wipe down the cut, they get the medicines on there and everything. So that's just one of the little things about the fighting, or about boxing, that a lot of people just don't appreciate as much. I mean, it just depends on like which parts of the fight you look forward to. Because, let's see, run out of stuff to say here already. That's just me throwing a bunch of right hands. You know, no big deal. That was just kind of my strategy throughout this fight. And I did manage to stun him with one of those straight right hands, but unfortunately his defense is pretty sharp, so it is kind of hard to knock him out. You actually can get an achievement if you knock him out before the 6th round, which is all fine and good, but at the end of the day, however you end up winning is just all fine and good. And I think I get him down here. Yep, there it is. I also like how there's a lot of blood on the camera. This is something to make it a little bit more realistic. But yeah, as far as getting cut goes, it is really more of a mental thing. Like, some people just really lose it whenever they see their own blood and end up getting more aggressive, and then some other people go into certain shells. It just depends on the individual. And also there was a lot of cutting here. For some reason I was having a lot of weird frame rate issues here. I mean, it wasn't in this particular part, but you will see it soon enough. I think I ended up editing that part out. Then again, it might just be the editing program I'm watching this on. Because the thing is, I kind of don't want to commentate over the cutscenes, so that's why I decided to edit it and then view it over video pad. or just play it on video pad and then just commentate over it. I mean, I was thinking about just commentating over it on the VLC media player, but unfortunately that might lead to me like accidentally commentating on cutscenes or accidentally commentating on important stuff. I mean, sometimes Joe and Teddy end up saying something important, and also that's how badly I messed up his left eye, which unfortunately I haven't cut it yet. In Legacy mode, or in Fight Now, whichever mode you choose. Yeah, see, those were the frame rate problems, but anyway, whichever mode you choose, you get like stamina and damage shown between rounds. And if you do end up cutting a guy, then you end up upping the damage a lot. But there is also music you play when you knock him down, so I'll let that play out.
He goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now?
Well, right now, just surviving, but if he survives, then he better figure out why he was put on the floor.
It seems to me that Bishop...
But as I was saying, whenever you end up cutting somebody in Fight Now or in Legacy mode, you can attack that part of the cut and then end up doing a lot more damage to their health, and then occasionally stun them. Either way, here's the, after scoring that knockdown, this part I actually ended up having a lot more trouble, putting him away. I guess I was either depending too much on counterpunching, or I just didn't want to gas myself, because I actually have kind of low stamina now. I think that just might have had more to do with me just running around too much, and maybe it might have had more to do with just throwing too many punches early on. But either way, after that knockdown, that should be the end of him. So that was the third knockdown, and that's the end of him. So he ended up overcoming a bad cut in order to win this fight. So enjoy this next cutscene.
DL has agreed to a fight between you and Kobe Nichols. If we beat Nichols, we'll be in the top 10.
What are the conditions?
He says there aren't any.
There's always conditions with DL.
I'm sure we'll find out what they are. But we really need this fight.
Anyway, welcome to my least favorite fight in this series, and you'll see why pretty soon. But I am playing the intro for the, I mean not the intro, but the Fighters Ring entrances, which are some pretty good songs. Well, especially Bishop's song, which is The Fire by the Roots, and then John Legend ends up singing in it too. It is actually one of my favorite songs, and that's what I really do like about this soundtrack, is that it doesn't really have much to do with boxing, but it has more to do with just having some pretty good songs on there. And then the song Nichols uses, which is The Problem Is by Merce. Actually, I think after this game, Merce has really grown on me too. I mean, I end up listening to a lot more of his stuff, via YouTube. And he is actually one of my favorite rappers now. Just a little side note. Anyway, here's the start of the fight. And you're thinking, what's so bad about this? And all you have to do is just throw body punches. Or at least until this happens. Yes, anytime you end up throwing an obvious body punch, the ref is going to call a low blow on you. If the ref catches it 3 times during the fight, he disqualifies you and you lose. So that is the reason why I hate this fight so much, is that it basically takes away half the field, or half the area that you can attack, and that's just me getting careless and getting stunned. And the thing was, I just wasn't defending the straight all that well, because I was trying to sway straight back instead of back into the side. And then that's just where I ended up getting caught. But yeah, the problem with this fight, and the reason why I hate it so much, is that Nichols is kind of fast, so he does like to punch the body. He likes to use a lot of jabs and straights. So that's pretty much why I'm staying on the outside away from his body attack, because he can actually wear you down pretty quickly in this fight. And like I said before, since you can't use any body punches anymore, you probably should stay on the outside unless you want to get brave and use some hooks and uppercuts. But right now I'm just trying to match him in jabs and straights. And of course catching him whenever he tries to come in like that. But yeah, that's why I hate this fight so much, is that he can wear you down in a hurry, and also because since you guys have seen that I am a pretty heavy body puncher, so I mean whenever I play this game. So that's just one thing that annoyed me a lot. And the first time I think I did end up getting disqualified in the first round. But now we get some advice.
Those shots were locals.
I know, kid, I know. McQueen's got this referee in his pocket.
That's his condition for giving me this fight. I lose. Nah, ain't gonna happen.
That's right, kid. You're gonna wear this guy out, okay? Keep moving. Keep that jab in his face. Counter upstairs when he opens up the punch. Do not go to the body. Upstairs, you got it?
I got it. Stay upstairs.
So now we find out that the conditions were that McQueen paid off the referee. So that's his way of getting Andre Bishop out of the title picture. I mean, last time he tried paying off the judges and that didn't quite work out. But now he's got to pay off the referee. But you can still win with counters.
Down he goes after that left hand.
Yeah, that's the thing about whenever Nichols tries to attack the body, is that if you're at the right distance, you can counter.
Nichols is back up on his feet. Now what will be interesting to see here is how he reacts in the next few moments.
But that's the good thing about countering, is that even when he ends up missing a body punch, he can still sway and then it counts as a counter. But I mean, that makes a lot more sense in doesn't make that much sense, but I mean that's kind of the way this game was set up. So now I end up stunning him right before the round.
He may want to tie up. And now look at Andre Bishop. He's just not going to the body the way he was. He's been called for multiple low blows in what appears to be overly officious refereeing in front of us.
And this is going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt somebody who depends just on their jab, just on the shots upstairs. He depends on slowing down his opponent by going to the basement.
And then you just heard Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas calling BS on the referee. And that's one thing I do like about those two and ESPN's boxing broadcasting crew, is they're pretty quick to call out the sport on, or they're not pretty quick, but, they don't have any problems calling out boxing on something they don't like or something they see that they don't like. And I mean, unfortunately, it happens way too much because this is a very corrupt sport, unfortunately. And that's just what happens when, the mob gets a hold of it. And speaking of which, there were a lot of I guess a lot of eyebrows raised about the decision on the Mayweather fight. And I'm just going to put on my tinfoil hat and guess that somebody made a lot of money on that prop bet. I don't know what happened there, just another frame rate issue. And then I ended up finishing him off with a counter hook. And then I just ended up getting there first. You know, just because my punch was a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact, and that's why I ended up getting there first. And with that, that is the end of the Kobe Nichols fight. So now we are in the top 10 and gunning for the title. And with that, I will see you next week.
Andre, I know you don't want to fight your brother. But I remind you, this meeting was not my idea. It was Raymond's.
I need this fight, Dre. The public has doubts about who deserves the fight for the title, me or you.
You stole your brother's thunder, Andre.
Man, I didn't steal anything.
It's not about that. I've been Big Baby Bishop ever since you won the gold medal. I never had a chance to be anything else. Never even had a chance to be my own man.
Sorry, Raymond. I didn't mean to...
As my brother, you owe me the chance to prove myself.